Hi everyone, welcome to yet another live Q&A. As always, mic test 1 2 3, mic test 1 2 3. Please let me know if the audio is okay. There might be some lag, but that should be fine. And hopefully the internet connection is fixed now and we won't have any dropout issues. Luckily, we didn't have any dropout issues in last live Q&A, but I have had few dropouts in last couple of weeks. But yeah, the repair work is done, so we should be good. Yeah, so the audio is looking fine in my monitoring device, but how is it at your end? Please let me know if we have already joined. In any case, I think the audio should be all right. So we will give a couple of more minutes for others to join. Usually we do these live Q&As at 12 p.m. UK time, but for uh, some unforeseen reasons, I had to delay it by 30 more minutes. But yeah, we will keep it as usual. As and when you have any questions, please do post it in the chat. I will take those questions one by one. So yeah, we will discuss about those things. We had a couple of questions in last live Q&A which I did not answer. I think the one which I remember was MSc AI and robotics at Hertfordshire University. So the person who asked this question, if they join and if they ask that question again, I will answer that question. Hey Srinivas, how are you? I think there is a lag of around 15 to 20 seconds, something like that. So yeah, you might receive a response a little later. Hi Santosh. And yeah, if you end up finding these live Q&A or this in particular helpful, please do leave a like. It just helps me and keeps you motivated to come live and answer your questions. Sometimes what happens is there are quite a lot of comments on different videos and a lot of questions on LinkedIn. It becomes a little hard to tend to all those questions individually, and some of those questions are quite repetitive. So I try to come live every Saturday 12 p.m. UK time to answer your questions here. So I do understand that not everyone will be able to join these live Q&As, but as and when you get time and when you join, you can always ask your questions here and I try to answer them. And one other benefit of these live Q&As is that you can always ask follow-up questions. So in comments, if you ask, you can always ask follow-up questions there as well, but it will take some time for me to get back to those. But here you can get your questions answered quite easily. Hi James. Yeah, so just post your questions in the chat. We will take them one by one. I got an offer from Newcastle University MSc Data Science for £24,500. Is the fees worth for the course? If you look at the fees purely from course content, perspective, then maybe not, because whatever they will cover in the course is available for free on the internet. You can do that, or maybe you can take a much comprehensive, cheaper course. But the reason why I would say it's worth is because all the other resources that they provide. So in Newcastle University, all the assessment that happens, it is purely based on the coursework that you do. So it's a very practical oriented course. A lot of other universities do the same, but in some universities there are some written exams as well. So that would be slightly tricky, slightly theory. So I would say, I'm not saying the theory is bad for people who like to read and take theoretical exams. I think it's good. And when you focus on theory exams, I think you sometimes learn a lot more. But I'm personally a very practical oriented person, and when I implement something, then I go back and do the reading and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I personally liked that practical learning methodology there. The next one is most of the things you can do at your own pace. So there are very few lectures sort of classes. So you will have access to all the learning material. You can learn at your own pace. Yes, there will be some classes, there will be some labs where they will answer your questions and they will try to help you understand some of those concepts. But all the material is available beforehand. So if you choose to go through the material first and then go to classes, you can do that as well. So that's another thing. um, Another thing is you have very good opportunity to be in contact with PhD students, and I think this is the case in all the other universities as well, but I personally found it to be really helpful. So if you build good connections with your PhD mentors, you can always ask if there are any research assistant roles there. So they can also help you to build your profile to get those roles, and then you also need to be in contact with your professor, of course. So those things. And probably the last thing is Newcastle University has a very good relation with the industry. So they do quite a lot of research work and projects for a lot of other companies. And there is this dedicated catalyst building where there are a lot of other companies. They do their research work. And when you have such close relationship with industry, it makes it easy for students to find internship. I won't say it's a whole lot easier. It will still be tricky to find internship, but it certainly gives you a direction to go and look for some internship and then also build some relationship there. So I would say yes. I did my course like 3.5 years back, or maybe four, approximately like that. Yeah, 4 years back, and I paid around 20,000 fees. So in last 4 years, I think if it's just increase of 4,500, then I think it's good, because there are some other universities, their fees have gone like crazy high. So I would say yeah, it's good. It was at least worth for me. And if things work out at the end, you would always say it was worth for me. So that's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, you should make your decision, and you know yourself a lot better and what are your conditions and situations. So yeah, those are the few inputs from my side. I hope that helps. Hi Farooq. What is the scope for sponsorship jobs? mm, Jobs for data science in the UK. I did make a video about jobs in the UK, and I did not really talk too much about sponsorship. It was mostly around how hard it is to find a job or things like that. So there we discussed about only 3% of the companies are making use of skilled worker visa. And I think the most important thing is to first find a job and then maybe convert that into a sponsored job. So that is there. Uh, in terms of sponsorship, When you go on to UK government website, you will find a list of companies which are approved and can provide sponsorship, and the list is pretty exhaustive. So there are quite a lot of companies they can provide sponsorship. It's an additional cost to the company, so they prefer to find a local student or a candidate, and if they're able to fill that role with someone who is local and doesn't need any sponsorship, they will go for them. But I think when it comes to IT related jobs, not just specific to data science, but any other IT related jobs, I think there is this skill shortage, and it is slightly easy to find a sponsorship job because there is less competition from uh, local students. But I won't say that is going to make your life a lot easier, is because there's a huge competition from international student side as well. So um what I would suggest is, I think in first instance your goal should be to uh, find a job as soon as possible. So if you are finishing your masters, I would say by the time you finish your masters you should have a job offer and joining date as well, and you start working in that company regardless of they are able to provide you sponsorship or not. And then if you work there for 2 years, I think you will have a relevant experience and also experience of working in the UK, which is slightly different as to the work culture that we have in India or in your home country. So I would say, yeah, that should be the goal. And once you have some experience, I think it will be slightly easy to get a sponsorship job as opposed to getting a sponsorship right away out of the college. And if you have some prior experience, that will certainly help. Amit, can you please update about job market these days, especially in Northeast? I made a video quite recently, so let me quickly pull that video up for you and share it in the chat. So James, here's the link. I talked about the job market in this particular video. It's basically uh, for whole of UK or England, but in that you will find some other resources as well, and it will also show you the distribution of the job market throughout the region. And I think Northeast is doing slightly better as compared to other locations, I think. But yeah, this video should give you a good idea about the job market in general, and then you can maybe check out some of those resources to go through other job options based on like location and stuff. So that should help. Your opinion about a year of research assistant? Innovate UK UKRI funded jobs on a student visa in your university in which you study data science, and what positive impact it has after converting to post-study work visa. I'm not sure if I understood your question. Maybe if you could maybe rephrase it, please. That would be helpful. Right. I think what you're asking is if you work as a research assistant in that same university where you did your master's in data science, how it will help you to convert to post-study work visa and then probably to uh, sponsorship. If that is the question, then any work experience helps, be it a research assistant job or an internship. They definitely count as an experience, and you can always show that you have some work experience in relevant domain in the UK. So that will certainly help you to build a good profile and then have an argument that I was able to secure this job. So obviously the employers do trust, and I have a good profile, I have a good knowledge. So just build a layer of trust, I think. So it is definitely helpful. And if you are someone who is able to find an internship or this research assistant role while doing masters, I think that is definitely a very strong argument for you to say that I probably have better skills than other batchmates and probably other people who don't have any internship or any such job opportunity, and they just did their master's course. And it also shows that you're good at managing your time and stuff, that you were able to complete your master's alongside this kind of job. So it shows quite a lot of things actually, not just the technical skills but also time management and other soft skills. So it's always good to maybe find those things, and they certainly help you to find a job, be it on post-study work visa or convert it to skilled worker visa. Is my audio still okay? Because I just got a warning saying that the bitrate is quite low. So please do let me know if there's any issue with the audio. The stream status is still okay, but not sure I'm getting this particular warning. What do you think of competitive programming? Competitive programming is actually very good, especially when you're starting out and you're learning to program. So it helps you to understand different programming constructs, and it helps you to build logic, and it also helps you to think in a way the program runs. So when you're trying to solve a particular problem and you're not very familiar with the syntax, or if you're not very familiar with programming, it makes it really hard for you to think how to solve this problem step by step. But when you do these competitive programming, it helps you to understand how the program is going to run, and what all checks and what all conditions you need to put to get the desired output. I did competitive programming quite a lot when I was getting into computer science, and when I was learning to program. Initially, I just focused on syntax and stuff, reading from the books, and just wrote those programs on pen and paper. But I wasn't really understanding the program whole lot, and I was still struggling to build logic and stuff. Then I came across these platforms like Lead Code, Hacker Earth, Hacker Rank, Code Chef, those kind of platforms, and then I started solving some of the problems there. And slowly but surely, I was able to understand um how the program actually works and how to improve the time complexity and space complexity, those kind of things. So it helped me a lot. So I would suggest to anyone who is just getting started in the world of programming uh, to give it a go and try to solve at least one problem a day to improve your programming skills. But if you're already good at programming, if you already understand all the programming construct of the language that you're trying to learn, in that case, I mean, it's fun to solve the problem. And when I started doing, I I used to treat all the problems as like games, and I used to break them down into different levels, and then I used to solve them. It was fun for me, so you can still do it for fun. But if you have other things to learn, and if you want to dedicate your time to learn other skills, then maybe computer programming might not be for you. But that was only for the learning part. There are a lot of hackathons, challenges, and competitions where you can participate in these competitive programming, and sometimes the prize money is quite good. So if you have time, you can always participate in those competitions and solve those problems and maybe earn some prize money there as well. So I hope that helps, Fahad. Hey Goku, all good. How are you? I have 3 months of time. What should I learn that will be helpful while I'm doing my MSc data science? Um, I think the most important thing is probably programming. So if you are not very comfortable with programming, then I would suggest learning to program will help. And initial few modules are covered in R programming. So when I joined, I didn't know R that well, but I was very comfortable with Python. So what I used to do was I used to write that program in Python, and then I used to look up for those similar construct in R syntax, and then I used to convert the code from Python to R. And slowly I started to understand how R actually works and what are the different syntax, and then I was able to write the code directly in R. So I had to do like a bit of code conversion sort of things. And do remember at that time, these large language models were not readily available to convert the code, but these days they are available. So I think you should be good. Um, so yeah, that's probably one of the most important things. Make sure you are comfortable with programming, because the course is pretty fast paced in Newcastle University. They cover quite a lot of things, and I think at one point, at the same time, two modules will be going on, so you'll have to juggle between both the modules. So I would say if you understand programming, it will make your life a lot more easier to solve those assignments. And other thing is maths and stats. So they do provide really good resources. You can go through that, and it's easy to understand. But what I would suggest is maybe to understand the basic statistics and mathematical concepts. So I have a playlist on my channel about statistics, so you can check out that playlist. Just go through that, and in most cases you will be able to answer a lot of interview questions if you go through that playlist. But I think it will prepare you well to understand the definitions of a lot of different concepts like mean, median, mode, which you might already know. But then I also go into some probability, hypothesis testing, those kind of things. So it will help you to understand what those things actually mean. So when you will hear or read about those things in your course, it won't sound like an alien term to you, and you will be familiar with it. So you will have some confidence to go through those material again. I think those are the two things which are very important if you understand from the get-go, because those are the modules which they cover in the beginning. And when you come here, uh, it doesn't matter how good you are in terms of adjusting yourself to a new environment. it still takes some time to adjust yourself. So if you understand those things, you will be able to adjust yourself well, and then at the same time you will be able to focus on your course and won't be bothered about it too much. um in second semester they cover like deep learning, big data, those kind of things. So I would say it's really hard for anyone to cover all of those things in 3 months. So if you just cover programming and maths and stats, you will be good to go. Have you seen Hertford share MSc AI and robotics syllabus? Yes, I did, Goku, and the course looks good. So if we just talk about the course content, I think it looks good. And by just reading through the course content, it feels like they're covering a lot of AI stuff, which they should, because the name of the course itself is MSc AI and robotics. So I think uh, on AI front, I think they are doing quite good. I'm not too sure about robotics. They did mention about robotics in one of those modules. So how well they will integrate the AI with the hardware side of things. So I'm not too sure about that. So for that, what I would suggest is maybe to reach out some of the people on LinkedIn who have done that course and ask them how university manages uh, those things, and whether it is going to be helpful if you really want to get into robotics. Is this the course that you should take? Because if they're just teaching you MSc AI, then the name of the course is misleading, and you can probably take some other robotic related courses. But in terms of AI, I think they're covering quite a lot of things. They also have different variations like MSc AI without any robotics and stuff. So those courses are also there. But in terms of course content, yeah, I think from AI front, it looks pretty good. I would highly suggest reaching out to someone on LinkedIn who have done this course from Hertford University and ask these questions. And also do ask them how many students were there in that batch, and what kind of resources they provide, because those things are very important, and it will help you to understand whether it is going to be a very um, helpful course for you or not. So I would highly suggest doing that. But in terms of course content, to me on AI front, it looks pretty good. What's your take on studying abroad in 2025 after seeing job market kind of people that are coming, and what's the future of uh, it depends on what course you are trying to pursue. So for AI, I think there's still quite a lot of scope, and a lot of these industries are investing quite heavily in the field of AI. So that would lead to more number of jobs in this particular field. I think when we compare data science versus AI, I think AI is probably getting more popularity as compared to data science now. So I think 5 6 years back, there was this article, the hottest job in the market is data science. Probably now you can republish that article saying that AI is the hottest job in the market. So I would say it is still okay to pursue masters when it comes to the field of AI. I'm not saying other fields are not important. I think when it comes to software development and stuff, I'm purely talking about computer science side of things. There are a lot of other areas as well, like electrical and electronics. I think they are still very very important. And in my company, they were trying to find an electrical engineer, and they were struggling to find one. So took like a couple of months for them to find a suitable candidate. So there's demand, but there is shortage of people who can actually do those things. But that's about electrical and electronics sort of things and other roles. As for computer science, I think most important and most popular one is probably AI, but there's still a lot of roles related to software development. But do keep in mind that those software development roles now these days require some level of understanding related to AI. So if you understand AI and you do those courses, you'll still be able to find some job. And yes, the job market is not at its best because there are a lot of external factors, and every day there are these political rules and regulation changes, and that affects the job market quite a lot. So yeah, so many uncertainties in the market, and because of which the job market is that good. But I would say, yeah, if you really want to pursue masters in the field of AI abroad, I think you will be good. But I would say do your research in that specific country wherever you would like to go, and take a look at different resources about the job market and the course content, those kind of things, and what are the future prospect of that particular course, and then make your decision. And also financial uh, implications are always there, so if you are comfortable spending that much money, I think you're good. I got conditional offer letter for MSc AI and robotics. From there now they are asking IELTS, any tips, and how to get my first internship after reaching there. Yes, so IELTS is important, so you will have to take IELTS. I prepared IELTS mostly from YouTube, so when you search for reading for IELTS, listening for IELTS, writing for IELTS, and those kind of things, you will be able to find a lot of examples and videos on YouTube. So I prepared from YouTube videos. There are dedicated channels for those, so it was really helpful. And I think I got 7.5 or 7, something like that. So it's not that difficult. You should be able to uh, clear it if you practice well. As for internship, I would say try to join as many meetups as you can in your local area, and Hertfordshire is not that far um, from London, and there are so many events happen in London, so you should go and attend those events if you can. And also you can go for a lot of these data science and AI related meetups in London. So that will help you to build some relationships, and from there you will be able to find internship. And that's how I found my internship. I used to attend those meetups, and used to talk to people who are already in the industry, and if they have any opportunity or even internship in their company, I always used to talk to them and ask them, and eventually I was able to find an internship. So that is something which is very important. Apart from that, being very uh, good contacts with your professors and PhD students if you can, so that if there are any opportunities within your university, they will help you. A lot of these professors, they just don't work in a university, they also work in some other organizations as consultants. So if they come across some role, they can always let you know. So have good relationship with your professors and PhD students as well. The next one is participate in hackathons. Those hackathons are very important. Sometimes these companies, when they conduct these hackathons, they look for a talent, and if people perform really well in those hackathons, they sometimes offer them a job role or internship in the first go. So those are the three important things that you can do. Apart from that, obviously you can apply online, which is the most difficult thing, which is the most easiest thing to do, but most a difficult way to find an internship because the competition is way too high and a lot of people apply using those methods. So yeah, those are few things that you can do to find internship, and you can do those things to find a job as well. Alrighty, I think I have answered all the questions, and if I missed any of the questions, please do repost it. I will take that question again, but I think looking back, I have answered all the questions. Yeah, I will wait for a couple of more minutes. If you have any other questions, please feel free to post it in the chat. And if you are finding these live Q&As helpful, please do give it a thumbs up. It keeps you motivated to make videos on this channel and also come live and answer your questions. So yeah, please do like and give it a thumbs up. Should I look for ML engineer internship first so that I can have an edge to become ML engineer, or should I take any opportunity as first internship like data analyst? I would say it's important to first have some uh, kind of role or some kind of offer in your hand. So in first instance, go for whatever you can find, be data analyst, data scientist, ML engineer, AI engineer, anything. Unless you absolutely hate being a data analyst or data scientist, you just want to be ML engineer. In that case, you will just need to focus on ML engineering. But if that is not the case, then I would say in first instance, I think you should aim to have a job offer or internship offer, and then start building a profile, work on some projects, and you will definitely learn something there. And then eventually you can move towards ML side of things once you have something and once you have already started building your career. And when you get your first internship or your first offer, don't try to switch like very quickly in like 6 7 months or 1 year. Stay there. There's always a lot of things to learn, because when you switch jobs that often, it just doesn't look good on your profile, and companies are always very skeptical about hiring such candidates. So even if your first role is not in ML domain, you will still be fine. And data analytics and data science is very closely related to machine learning, right? You will be working on quite a lot of data analysis sort of project, data engineering sort of projects, and those kind of things, which eventually uh, feed into machine learning sort of role. And data scientist is basically an umbrella term which includes data analysis, data engineering, machine learning engineer, deep learning engineer, AI engineer. Those things usually fall under data science role itself. So I would say, yeah, your first aim should be to find anything in relevant domain, and then from there you can develop in one of those fields. In 2025, do you really think being abroad still makes that big of a difference for personal or career growth? In terms of personal growth, I personally have seen quite a lot of change and development for myself, at least. Because in India, when I finished my masters and when I joined Infosys and then other companies, um, yes, of course, I was independent, and I was independent right from my bachelor's. So I did make a whole lot of decisions myself. So that was a different kind of independence. If you were not well or something, your parents can still visit you, and you still knew a lot of people there. You had friends and everyone. So you still had that cushion that if you are not well, or if you're not in right state of mind, you still have someone to take care of you. But when you go abroad and you don't know anyone here, it's a completely different scenario, completely different case, and you are truly independent. All the decisions that you make, you'll have to make on your own. And even if you talk to your parents and they help you in making those decisions, they do not completely understand how things are here. So yes, their advice could be really helpful but may not be the best one for you. So you'll have to take those decisions by yourself. So and maybe a very small thing, I didn't know cooking in India, and it is very easy in India to have a cook and cook for you. You don't need to worry about those things. But after coming here, I learned to cook. I still don't know a lot of things to cook. I can make very few things, but I learned a very essential life skill which I might not have learned if I was in India even till today. So I have learned quite a lot of things, and I have seen a huge personal growth in myself. So that was the first thing. I'm not saying that you can't do all these things by staying in India. You can definitely do it. India is huge. You can move from one state to another state. But still, there are a lot of restrictions when someone wants to visit in the UK. But those restrictions are not there in India. So that is something which is very important. When it comes to career growth, when it comes to monetary gains and income and those kind of things, I think there isn't a lot of difference, because if you are earning, let's say, 10 lakh per annum in India, and you're living at certain standard, to maintain that same standard in the UK, I think you will have to earn probably 35k per year. And I mean, I don't know how hard or easy it is to get 10k in India. What I can tell you is, in the UK, if you're just starting out and if you're not in London, your salary can vary from 28k to 35k if you don't have any experience. So it is possible to get a 35k as your first salary, but it's not going to be the case all the time. And if you're living in London, you might be able to get 35k, but then it will be too less to live in London for that kind of money. So considering that, I think it doesn't really matter that much if you're working in India or if you are working abroad. The next one is probably the quality of life. I think it's a lot better here in the UK as compared to what I had in India, because the kind of tax that you pay, well, now you don't pay tax up until 12 lakh in India, so that's a really good thing. But the air is definitely a lot cleaner here, and public transport is a lot better in terms of quality. And yeah, the living standard is definitely better when it comes to when it compared to what we have in India. So I mean, those are my thoughts. I've been here for like 3 years, so I probably have still a whole lot to experience, but in 3 years, those are the things which I can suggest. Yeah, in terms of food and stuff, I think it's better in India as compared to here. So if you want to eat out, you really like different Indian dishes, then we have quite a lot of restaurant here, but they say authentic Indian dish, but most often than not, it's not actually authentic Indian dish. Yeah, so that was probably a very elaborative answer, and I hope it gave you some perspective, some idea about that. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What's your view on current MSc in data science in UK? Can we get a sponsorship job easily or not hard? I got MSc in Data science in Surrey University with placement here. Tuition fee after scholarship is 20K. What's your suggestion? So we did talk about this um, in earlier part of this live Q&A. Finding a sponsorship job, again, it's not easy. It is difficult task to do, but if you are able to find a job right after your masters, be it on post-study work visa, it's easy to convert it into a sponsorship job. And when I say easy, you've been working in that company for 2 years and they think you are a good fit for the company, you have been able to prove your worth to the company in that case. And if you have built a really good relationship with your manager, I think it always helps to get that sponsorship. So I think your main goal should be to find a job as soon as you are out of your master's course. As for Surrey, I will have to probably look into the course content of the university. It's been a while, I haven't seen their course content, but I think for 20K. But as far as I remember, I think this university is good and their course content was also okay at that time, I think. So I have no reason to think that the course would have deteriorated or they wouldn't have improved it. So should be fine. Can you tell me what all companies should we target? There are a lot of companies. I cannot name the companies. What I can tell you is probably the size of the company. So if a company is pretty big, then most often than not they are approved to sponsor your visa. So if you want to continue in that same company for a very long time, then I think it's better to find your first job in a company which can sponsor your visa. But I think when you are starting out and when you are trying to find a job, your main goal should be to find something. And when that is the case, you should just apply to all the companies that are offering a job. And you shouldn't worry too much about whether this company will be able to provide me sponsorship in the future or not. Is because if you work for 2 years, you will gain some experience and also you will know the work culture of the UK, which is definitely very important. And some other company, if they see 2 years of work experience on your CV in one of the companies in the UK, they will know that okay, you can work in an environment and you might be able to fit in the culture, which might be same or slightly different when compared to the other company. So yeah, I won't say that specifically target one or two companies. Maybe try to apply to all the jobs that are available in the market and try to have offer as soon as possible. I'm just looking outside. It's a really lovely day outside, nice sunny, very slight wind. So after this live Q&A, we're planning to go out for a walk. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. Well, the whole past week or so has been really great. Nice sunny day. Usually you don't get whole week of sunshine, but it's great. Spring is here, so yeah, really lovely outside. Really looking forward to. What are your plans? If anyone would like to share, please feel free to share in the chat. I will wait for maybe 5-10 minutes more. If we have any more questions, I will take those questions. If not, then we will call it a day. But if you would like to share what you're doing this weekend, anything special on your to-do list, and if you would like to share, please do. What's your current situation in UK? So I am currently working as a senior data scientist, and I've been working in this role for more than 2 years now, and it's a sponsored job, yes. All right, I don't think we have any more questions. So yeah, I hope you found this live Q&A to be helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and have a great weekend. And I will see you guys next Saturday, 12 p.m. UK time. So happy learning. Bye, everyone.